Hello, my name is Ali and I work for Cheshire East Libraries. I would like to tell you about a book I love. The book I'd like to share is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, published by Black Swan. I first read this a few years ago as it was chosen by one of my friends for us to read in our monthly book club. I enjoyed it so much that I had to read it again immediately. Set in Nazi Germany, we are told the story of Liesel, a 9-year-old girl who is living with a foster family as her parents were taken to a concentration camp. We follow Liesel through the Second World War as she forges friendships and adapts to her new life. Through Liesel, we gain an insight into what life was like in Nazi Germany, in particular for those who opposed the Nazi regime. In writing the novel, Zusak drew inspiration from the stories of his German and Austrian parents during the war. I found this particularly fascinating as it allowed me to empathise with individuals who lived through those events. My mum lived in Germany at the end of the war when her father was stationed there in the army to maintain order. So reading this made me think about the experiences they may have had. It was my nana who encouraged my love of reading. She used to recommend reading a book when times were difficult in order to escape to another world. For me, one of the most powerful features of the novel is the use of death as the narrator. I found that this unique perspective allowed me to follow the story of Liesel while simultaneously observing from above the devastating effects of the war. His descriptive narration helped me to visualise the story, particularly associating colour to events. First the colours, then the humans. That's usually how I see things. This opening line introduces a gentle personification of death, one who notices and remembers the colour of the sky when he collects each soul. By having the book narrated by death, I also got a sense of his frustration at humans repeating the same mistakes through war. He says, "I've seen so many young men over the years who think they are running at other young men. They are not. They are running at me." Although characters in the novel risk their lives for their beliefs, from death's perspective, there is just loss of life. Through the story, we're shown differing views of the youth and older generation at the time. Like death, Liesel's foster father, Hans, is aware of the huge fatalities of the First World War. He therefore is reluctant to embrace the mood in Germany and assists a Jew to hide in his basement. By contrast, his son is part of the Hitler Youth and believes Liesel should be reading Mein Kampf. As the title suggests, Liesel develops a habit of stealing books. These books provide stepping stones for the narrative, with each of her thefts marking an important moment in her story. For the first theft, she's unable to read, and so the book holds a purely sentimental value. But as she learns to read, she discovers the power of words, and her appreciation of books gives her something to focus on that is small and almost trivial to endure difficult times. She acquires her next book at a book burning, and I think Liesel's habit for collecting books can be interpreted as a small act of rebellion against the suppression of knowledge. I too find books comforting. They don't necessarily need to be read, just having them around comforts and holds memories for me. The book burning at that time also impacted on people emotionally, by destroying the very things that they loved and associated with happier times. Although the subject matter is undoubtedly sad, I thought it was a brilliant book and thoroughly enjoyed it as I was completely immersed in the story. It was thought-provoking and beautifully written. It resonates with me in the current crisis. Just as Liesel drew upon the power of books to endure difficult times, we too can find solace in books. Thank you for listening. Look out for more books we love from Cheshire East Libraries, coming soon.